You're listening to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome everyone to What the Wrestling. You guys already know what you're looking at. Keep your eyes planted on the screen because we're about to get into the AEW review as always. But before we do, hit the goddamn like button. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. What's the Wrestling? We making moves, we making shorts, we making videos, and we are moving on up. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the review. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling, the show that brings you all things wrestling. I am your host, RJD. Once again, welcome everybody. Hope everybody had a phenomenal Thursday. Yesterday was AEW Dynamite, and I know and I'm sure we all woke up feeling better than Darby Allin because holy hell, that brother right there is crazy. He's crazy. Nope. Man, he did some things I was just like, man, ain't no way in hell I'm doing that. Nope. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. Like the Shannon Sharp meme, just nope. Not doing that. Not at all. But we had ourselves another good AEW Dynamite. This is now like the 5th or 6th Dynamite in a row that has been absolutely great. So I want to get into it and I want to talk about it. But first things first, as I stated again, hit the goddamn like button, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. What the Wrestling? Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. If you can see the ticker across the stream, that's what it is. So let's get into the review. AEW coming to you live from Ohio. We had ourselves a good old-fashioned dust-up. The first match, Hangman Page versus Jon Moxley, coming out with his daddy. Shout out to Papa Moxley and Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. Hangman comes out and these guys just start going at it one after the other. They brawled for quite a while before they actually got back into the ring to officially start the match. I mean, they were out there, got thrown. I think Hangman got thrown into the barricade. Moxley was beating him up real good. It was a mess out there. It was a mess. But what I will say is these two had a very, very hard-hitting match. I love the story here. The story here is Moxley ends up winning, which I'll get to later, but these guys aren't happy because Moxley wins by a roll-up. Man, nobody wants to win with a roll-up. Get the fuck out of here! So these guys are going to fight again for the 4th time, and you know what? You can take my money. Take my money, man. It's all good. I ain't mad at it. Take my money. Just here. You can have it. These guys are phenomenal. The end of the match came when Moxley hits Hangman with the chair, targets his leg. Oh, no. That was actually earlier in the match. My bad. We all make mistakes. Stupid. Sorry. But Moxley. There was a Death Valley driver. Hangman told Moxley to stay down, but Moxley flipped him the bird because it's Jon Moxley. Why wouldn't he? So we're going to give Jon Moxley a thing for the bird. He hits the cutter, got some momentum with a couple of strikes. They traded, boo spots. Moxley slammed Page. He hit him with a over-the-top suplex. Elbows, as always, locks in the choke and transitions to the stomp in your face. But Moxley locks in an armbar, but Page reaches the ropes. Page jumps Mox onto the outside, goes for the moonsault, but Mox counters him on the floor with the King Kong lariat, and then Page pops up with a powerbomb through the table because he was trying to hit him with, it looked like a powerbomb, but the dead eye, but then he reversed it, and he ends up hitting Mox with the powerbomb. Page rolls him back into the ring, follows him, Page gets a 2 count, but he hit him with the dead eye, but only for a 2. Moxley hits him with a King Kong lariat. They traded strikes in the middle. Page hit a thrust kick. We hardly ever see him with super kicks, but it was kind of cool. We forget Page is he's a big dude, but Page can fly. If he needs to, he can fly. But recently, he's become more of a just beat your ass type. So shout out to the Hangman. But Moxley counters with the buckshot, but Page wants to hit him with a tombstone. Page hits the buckshot for a 2 count. He locks in the bulldog choke, but Moxley he grabs, and Taz, shout out to Taz, because Taz made note of this. He grabbed his leg with his own leg, and Taz made note of that, and then he kind of rolled him sideways, and that was all she wrote. 1, 2, 3. After the match, everybody comes down. Castiglione, Wheeler Yuta, these guys are pushing each other. They're doing push-ups, trying to see who's the real big bad. Everybody's cheering Jon Moxley, and everybody's booing the Hangman. So it is what it is. But clearly, this is not over. They are just fighting each other. Maybe they should just have a best of 7. Why not? Just give them a best of 7. They've been fighting the whole damn time anyway. Well, I mean, oh, Jesus Christ. They've been fighting the whole time. Maybe they should just have a best of 7 and call it a day. Okay, oh no, what happened to my camera? Oh no, that is not acceptable. My camera just cut off for no reason whatsoever. So, when it comes to technology, we always have the issues. What is going on with my camera? Man, it's all over. What the hell? All right. Excuse me for 1 second while I fix the camera. So we're going to have some suspenseful music right about now. What the hell is going on with this camera, man? Oh, Jesus. live, pal. Wow. Okay. We're back. Jesus Christ. All right. Okay, so everything's good. You back?
Stupid.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. All right, so assuming that everything is still working. Okay. That was crazy.
How dare you?
That was crazy. All right. Wow. Technology, y'all. Technology. So, assuming that everything is back to normal, we had Darby Allin discussing his match with Samoa Joe later on. We had the Bunny challenging Jamie Hayter in an eliminator match, but she accepts, but the camera cuts away real quick, and Saraya and Tony Storm are attacking the Doctor, Britt Baker, DMD. They're really trying to make this girl a heel, huh? But I don't want to boo Saraya, like, at all. Do you want to boo Saraya? I don't. Do you? Not feeling this. The Acclaimed. Yo, listen.
Surprise, motherfucker.
The Acclaimed come out to fight Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum.
How dare you?
I said Truth Magnum. Who came up with those names? That's all I have to say. So, the Acclaimed had a very, very hard-fought match. I'm lying, y'all. I'm lying. This was 2 seconds. This was 2 seconds. Mr. Floyd and Mr. Magnum. Thanks for playing. Thanks for coming. But you're out of there. The Gun Clubs come down. The Ass Boys come down. They talk their junk. They want a tag team title shot. The Acclaim says, crowd, do you want them to have a tag team title shot? And everybody was like, so they were like, but it doesn't matter. They ain't getting the title shot. But then Daddy Ass takes it, and Daddy Ass says, listen, he tell Austin says Billy's doing what he did throughout his childhood. He tells Billy to do what he used to do and drown his sorrows at the bottom of a pill bottle. Ooh, too soon?
Stop it. Get some help.
I was like, sheesh. Billy comes back in the ring and says they have their title shot because they made Billy feel sad. And the Acclaimed is looking like,
how dare you?
I didn't agree to that. And then they're just sitting there like,
Gotcha, bitch.
so so that'll be happening, I think on Rampage, if I'm not mistaken. So, or next week or on Rampage. Then Jungle Boy says he had a great time teaming up with Hook, but he's focused on being a champion himself now. Good job, Hook. Then Inosuke Takeshita versus Brian Cage with Prince Nana. Oh, Nana. So this was another good, solid match. Konosuke Takeshita is a future world champion in whatever freaking promotion he decides to go to. Brian Cage is an excellent pro wrestler who is jacked, but fights like a damn luchador. And they had themselves a good back and forth match. Takeshita got a 2 count with a delayed German suplex. Takeshita hits a Liger bomb for a 2 count. Cage gets a 2 count with a backdrop driver, but Cage powers through a brain buster, but Takeshita hits another one, and Takeshita hits an avalanche brain buster. Nails Cage with the running knee and gets the dub. So shout out to Takeshita, freaking beast. So, like I said, Konosuke Takeshita is great. There ain't no denying it. It's like a foregone conclusion at this point. This brother is a certified savage. Love watching wrestle. Like I said, certified freaking. And whatever he decides to do, He is a certified freaking world champion. Let me pull something up real quick. I love him, man. Shout out to Takeshita. He's a beast. Next, we had Takeshita, Brian Cage. Next, we had Takeshita with the win. I already said that. Backstage, we had Sammy Guevara, Daniel Garcia, and the rest of the JAS announce the Garcia-Guevara gauntlet match, or the Guevara-Garcia gauntlet match, however you want to freaking put it. Ricky Starks will have to go through Angelo Parker, Daddy Magic. After that, he got to go through either Garcia, or Guevara. And then after that, he got to go finally get to the main boss, who is Chris Jericho.
Nope.
So, looking forward to that. Ricky Starks is probably going to whoop all their asses. Got it. Then we had Bryan Danielson versus Timothy Thatcher. If you love wrestling, this was the match for you. Timothy Thatcher is from NXT. In case you didn't know, they released him when they had that big wave of releases that happened not too long ago. Timothy Thatcher is very, very good. He had very good matches with the likes of Tommaso Ciampa and the such, and you can add Mr. Bryan Danielson to the list. This brother is certified just submission specialist. Think Zack Sabre Jr. He's along. Actually, they would probably have a good match if they haven't had one already. Those two, very, very mat-based, grappling-based, and the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, can wrestle a number of styles. Striker, mat-based. Shit, you want him to high fly, he could do that. So I am glad I got to see this match because it did not disappoint. Not even a little bit. They worked over Danielson's arm for damn near the whole match. The end came where MJF came down. There was a ref bump, and MJF came down to try to, make him lose because why not? He's a bad guy, people. It's what bad guys do. So he came down to try and get the best of him. But to his dismay, a hooded brother jumped out of the crowd. And who was it but Inosuke Takeshita? He came out and he fought off Mr. MJF. And that allowed Bryan Danielson to get back into the match and hit the running knee for the win. Awesome. The way he took the running knee, too, he hit it and he just fell forward. A thing of beauty.
Perfect.
Thing of beauty. I love it. Shout out to Inosuke Takeshita for saving him. After the match, you had MJF and Takeshita basically beating the hell out of each other backstage, and you had a bunch of referees. You had a bunch of referees, and then out of nowhere, you had Renee Paquette comes out of nowhere and says, "Okay, I got it. So, guys, relax. Stop. No. Both of you, stop it. And they listened to her, which was crazy. She was like, no. Stop it.
Get some help.
So, after that, she announces that per Tony Khan, there would be I believe next week, Takeshita and MJF in a match. That's happening. And then Taz was like, man, MJF in a match? How are you just going to have the world champion fighting like that? How are you just going to have the world champion fighting? And then Excalibur was like, yes, Tony Khan's the boss. Hey, MJF may think he's the boss, but Tony Khan's the boss. And then Shivani chimed in, and then Taz called Shivani a kiss ass. And then he said, yes, I am. Oh, man. Gold. These guys were great all night. And that's one of the reasons why I love AEW, because you will get those little back and forths with the commentators, because Taz used to wrestle. Excalibur's really good. Shivani got all that WCW experience in commentating for years and years and years. And these guys are so in tune with the industry. They go back and forth with little nuances. On WWE, even though it's better now without Vince, you don't really get a lot of that. So I like the little nuances that the little jabs they give each other. It is great great commentary. I wish WWE did it more because there's a lot that you could say in WWE as well that they just don't allow them to do, I guess. But shout out to these guys, man. That was freaking phenomenal. He called him a kiss ass. That was dope. So next we had your TBS Championship. Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill. Not gonna lie, I like Jade. 50-0. That's crazy that she's had 50 matches. So Velvet got in on Jade from the opening bell. As Scalator pointed out, that this is the first match between Cargill and Red Velvet in over 14 months. Remember, Red Velvet was with Shaq when they had, it was Jade and Shaq and Cody. It was Jade and Shaq. No, it was Jade and Red Velvet and Cody. No, I'm tripping. Hold on.
You stupid.
It was Jade and Shaq and Cody and Red Velvet. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, that's what it was. It was great. So, with that being said, I can't believe I forgot that. That's where this feud started, like almost, that was 2 years ago now, right? A year and a half ago. So, and then she joined the baddies. Now she's out of the baddies. So it's a lot of back and forth going on there. And that's okay. That's okay. Hogan came down and shoved Leela Gray into the steps. Red Velvet knocked Jade Cargill. She kind of got at Jade. Referee Aubrey was distracted. Red Velvet would have got the win here. So you got a visual pin on Jade finally. But Jade ended up getting the jaded. As always, she had her and then flipped her and then got her on the jaded and then put her down. Red Velvet is a very small woman. Jade is very strong. Probably wasn't that hard for her. I'm glad this is one of the only times where she's doing these, catching them, putting them, and then flipping them into the jaded. She actually military pressed her through the ropes too, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to Jade. Listen, say what you like. Jade is an attraction. I've been to an AEW show. I've seen Jade in person. Attractive woman in person. China-esque with her physique. Her physique, dare I say, might be better than China's. But I would be shocked if she didn't get a little bit of inspiration from China. But anyway, this was good. Decent stuff here. Jade 50-0. She grabs her daughter after the match. Her daughter is in tears, crying. It is it almost made me think, because it's her 50th win, so she had her daughter there. And her daughter's small. I think her daughter's young, so very young, 7, 8, 6, something like that. So she had her there, and being that it was her 50th win, she wanted to celebrate it the right way, which is great, with her daughter. She grabbed her daughter, picked her up. Her daughter's crying and hugging her. It was the cutest thing ever. And I'm just sitting there how am I supposed to boo this woman after that? How am I supposed to boo you? I don't want to boo you now. Thanks, AEW. Thank you. Now I can't boo Jade because that was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Thank you. But shout out to Jade, 50th win. I don't know who beats her. I think Statlander was crying for that spot, but now that Stat is out, nursing that knee back to health. And then it's even if you bring Stat back, you kind of gotta build her up a little bit and make sure that knee is on point before you just throw in there with Jade. So, and then you gotta build to that match. That's not something you just throw out there. You gotta build to that, and that's gotta happen on a pay-per-view. So, shit, she might go 60-0 before we see somebody beat her. Then you had the main event of the evening. The Insane Man, Darby Allin versus Joe is gonna kill you, Samoa Joe. All I can say is this match.
Hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
This match. This match was brutal. It was brutal. It was bloody. Darby came out with a thumbtack. I wonder how long it took them to make this, because I'm sure you can't just go buy that at the store. So he came out like Hellraiser Darby with thumbtacks in his jacket. Hellraiser Darby. That's what he is. He's a madman. And he immediately threw himself into Joe. Joe took a towel and like whacked him with a clothesline just to start the damn match. This was crazy. These guys had their working boots on tonight. This was crazy. They went up into the crowd because this was a no holds barred match. And you had Darby. Joe took Darby, and you know, if you ever been in an arena, you have seats, the steps going up, and there's a rail in the middle. He picked him up and threw him over the rail onto the cement steps. I was sitting there like, oh, my backside. Oh, man. And then he did the spot where it's like almost impossible to do it safely. You put the chairs facing not the step way, but the back way. And he threw Darby. I think he kind of slammed him on to the steps the back way. And I was just like, oh, my back. That legit made me go, oh. I was just like, oh, my back. I felt that. I felt that. It was like disrespectful. And then Darby Allin ends up hitting the coffin drop. He tried to get the damn jacket on, but the sleeves were all inside out. Stupid. So he couldn't. If you've ever tried to put a jacket on and you look foolish, listen, stop the show. We've all done this. Every one of you has done this. You tried to put a jacket on, it's like messed up, and you're like, and the sleeves are the wrong. One sleeve is in, one sleeve is out, and you're out there looking stupid.
You stupid.
We've all done this. Well, Darby did it on the top rope. So he just left it around his neck, did the coffin drop with the spikes, with the thumbtacks on it, got a 2 count. But in the end, and Joe ended up bleeding too. Joe bled all over the damn place. But in the end, Darby was cutting the ring. So he was cutting the bottom of the ring with a knife. So he took out a knife, and at first I was like, are we going to have murder on AEW? What's going on here? But no. He started cutting the ring.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And he's cutting it and cutting it and cutting it, cutting it. Which seemed like forever, but it wasn't that long. He unveils the wood. Under the mat, under the ring. And he was trying to do something, but Joe caught him. I think Joe threw something at him. I can't remember. And Joe goes to the top rope, and Joe hits the muscle buster on Darby onto the wood. And I was just like, what are you doing? Yikes. That had to suck. Especially for Joe, because Joe landed on most of the wood. Darby hit a little bit of wood, but Joe landed on most of the wood. So that had to suck for real. And oh man, I'm sure that did not feel good at all. And Joe gets the win. So now the TNT champion and new TNT champion is Samoa Joe. So now we are back where we were 2 weeks ago with Darby Allin as the TNT champ. And they're playing hot potato with the TNT title. But now Wardlow is back.
Surprise, motherfucker.
He comes down without the man bun, no man bun for Wardlow. Comes down looking like your world's best dressed security guard agent. And he comes down. Joe is like, comes down, spears Joe. He's about to give him the Powerbomb Symphony. And Joe says, man, forget that.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
And Joe got the hell up out of there. And you had a bunch of security guards come down, and Wardlow actually just took them, threw them around, He picked one up, power bombed him over the top rope, and Dynamite went off the air real quick. So they must have been pressed for time. So they got the hell up out of there because there is no overrun.
How dare you?
Unfortunately. So they got up out of there, and that was all she wrote. So apparently Wardlow is back, and his power level has skyrocketed.
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
So Wardlow is back, and I am glad because missed Wardlow. And where the hell is Powerhouse Hobbs? Powerhouse. Where's Powerhouse Hobbs at? I think Powerhouse Hobbs should be the next heel TNT champion, and he should hold on to it for at least like 7, 8, 9 defenses with one major defense at a pay-per-view. Because I think Hobbs is that dude, man. And with those vignettes they were doing with them, those video packages, talking about how he's a monster, I'm all for it. So I don't know if it's going to be Joe and Wardlow, and then Hobbs comes back and beats both of them. I don't know. Too much hot potato with the belt for me, but I like what they're doing here. So I hope they keep it up. And that was your AEW Dynamite, everybody. So thank you for rocking with me. Greatly appreciated as always. Listen, I know we had some technical difficulties, but I'm gonna try and splice this up as best I can so that you don't see it. And if I can't, then you know what? We played the good, the bad, and the ugly here on What the Wrestling.
You stupid.
I meant to hit that. But we got to show the good, the bad, and the ugly. So with that being said, I'm up out of here. Everybody be safe. I am out. As always, catch me on What the Wrestling tomorrow for the news. I'm gone. Be safe out here. Peace.